Hey, hello, and welcome. You're listening to the Evolvepreneur Secrets Show for entrepreneurs, and I'm your host, Brian Silverthorne. And it's always my mission to help entrepreneurs make a difference and to navigate the sometimes messy worlds of startup and growth or relaunch. And today we're going to dig deep with our guest and get you some great concepts and strategies to fast track your business. And our special guest today is Anya Cheng. And Anya is the founder and CEO of Taylor, which is an AI driven men's fashion rental subscription service. Welcome to the show, Anya.
Hi everyone, I'm Anya Cheng. I'm in Silicon Valley and right now as a founder. I also teach at Northwestern University about product management and marketing. Before starting Taylor, I have 15 years working for companies such as Meta, eBay, and Target as a head of product and head of marketing. Look forward to talking to you.
Great, thank you. That's a great introduction in your own right there. So, what inspired you to get into this business?
I started using rental subscription a few years ago because I, as a female tech leader who didn't came from technical background, I was reporter starting as my career, marketer in the first 10 years of my career, and then move our way up, became a head of product, leading large engineering teams. And so I always feel like I'm not ready for my day. I feel a little bit imposter syndrome. So a few years ago, I started renting clothes. I know, hey, how about at least I looks like I'm ready? Maybe I'm not ready, but I looks like I'm ready. And I love those service, but what I didn't love is most of them, for example, for Rent the Runway, you have to browsing through hours for thousands of items. Or like Stitch Fix, you have to buy something before you can wear. And I didn't want to own that much stuff. So I was thinking that I want to launch something as an upgrade of those version, then more focus on practical side, get a day, get a job, close a deal, not about wearing red or blue. And when I interview those potential consumers, lots of people have the same thoughts. But guess what? Who are those people who are very practical, hate laundry, hate shopping? They turn out to be guys. And that's how we found Taylor.
Excellent. That's an excellent process that led to a really good conclusion. So, when you first got started, what was the biggest challenge that you faced?
I think one challenge we faced was no one heard about us. It's being a small startup, so we want to get in onto some potential media, such as this amazing show. But at that time, no one knows about us. No one willing to give us opportunity. So what I have done was that I went to TechCrunch. Found those in a conference. We reached out to all of the reporters, and no one get back to us. And one day a reporter get back to us say, hey, please do not email us anymore. We're not interested in these topics. And surprisingly, a month after, the same reporter reach out back, say, hey, I do have you on top of my mind. And one today, my colleagues say they are interested in doing a rental company related to the article. So I was so excited when they are done the interview and the article never came out. So few weeks and then keep going for a couple months. We follow ups, then nothing happened. So we're now a startup competitions, and we won the West Coast championship for the competition. So we emailed some of the local reporter in the Chicago lands because we went to University of Chicago competition. Say, hey, how about this is Northwestern professor now, a fact lecturer now competing in the University of Chicago, and they before I went, our PR person said, you know what? I still think this is not a story. No one's going to care. But we still try. We still email them. And turn out ABC News said yes. So from in the ABC News, I sent a news clip back to the reporter at TechCrunch. Turned out the story was published. With the published story in the B2B fashion space, we got our first supplier. And that's how we start our supply and get into a real business from just idea.
Excellent. Boy, that's quite a story. So, we're doing good here. We got 6 or 7 minutes left. So, what's your biggest challenge now? Now that you got through that first one?
I think the being believing yourself is always a challenge. Last year when we joined the startup competitions, I reached out to 42 formal judges. I think the best way is to do mock practice pitch with formal judges. So we get through all of our perfect pitch, 60 minutes, 42 times practice. And then so all of the questions the judge asked that we already have in the appendix, I know the answer, I prepare the answer. When we went on the competitions, then we done the pitch, it was perfect. But then when it comes to a Q&A, when the judge asked me the question, somehow I just froze. What? Because all in my head was I was thinking like, oh yes, this question. I remember the practice judge number 7 asked me about this, and I researched about the answer. I put on appendix number 3. In my head, I wasn't trying to answer the question. I was trying to remember what I have learned from others. And looking back, I could have just answered the question by thinking and believing myself, instead of like a student when you go to an open book exam, you spend hours browsing through your book and trying to find the answer, and the clock done, then you turn out that haven't done any writing of your answer, and you got the 0 point, you fail. But in fact, if you look at the question, you actually know the answer. So I think entrepreneurs, it's always hard to be confident, and there's a lot of self-doubt, and it's a continuing journey to overcome that.
Yeah, you're right. There is a lot of self-doubt with the challenges that you're facing in your business, and all entrepreneurs face those challenges. Do you have a plan in place for overcoming those and achieving any revenue goals you may have?
Yes, for sure. I think so for us, it's all about now getting into a little bit more scale. And we now getting to US nationwide and serve all kinds of sizes with have over 200 brands, from polo, t-shirt, jacket, blazers, and even some others pants, different type of pants as well. So for us, it's continuing learning about the customers, and also getting more, for as a founder, getting more involved in the community. Because when you are hanging out with other people, every time you feel like, oh my god, it sucks, this is not great, but turn out that you look around, everyone is the same thing, then people were also trying to figure out the answer and trying to find a product market fit. And last year I went to a training, the founder training, and surprisingly during the training, because I had to teach team member who are on the same team, so I actually learn even more for myself. So I think getting involved in the community is a great thing, and product market fit is always the number one thing for consumers.
Absolutely. So speaking of customers, who is your ideal customer and how do they find you best?
Yeah, so today our customers are guys who are between 25 to 45 years old, and um, they are in the US nationwide, have different jobs. Some of them are engineers, some of them are salespeople, some of them are people facing professionals like teachers and influencers, or just consultants. And but what they all have in common is that they want to look good, stylish, not fashionable, but they also does not want to spend time thinking of that. They don't want to spend time chasing after clothes. They don't love shopping. They don't like to do laundry. They know that looking good can achieve a goal. Close a deal, get a job, get a day, but they are not someone who want to spend time about that. So they love our styling service. They also love the fact that it's rental, so you get 4 items per box, 2 box per month. You wear for, and which were already picked by stylists and AI. You wear for a couple of weeks without buying that, and you send back the dirty clothes and get new ones. So how we found them, or how they found us today, was most of them went on Google search. They were inspired by some people who have been using circular fashion model because it's more sustainable and better for the environment. They Google search, they see our article, and maybe this one will be the next one they found. And then from there, they went on our site, and we retarget them if they haven't signed up right away through emails, and then they signed up from there.
Good, excellent. So is Google search your best method for client acquisition, or do you have other sources that are working better?
I think people, as a marketing professor, people tend to ask me like, which is the best channel. In fact, is that I always ask them back, say, how do they find you today? And are you use is you can take this, for example, for us, we decide to go with a strategy, say, hey, they were inspired by female who has been using rental, they went on Google search, then on the site, they see our retargeting email. So let's just amplify, make sure all touch points great. Or you can go with a strategy, say, you know what, I think this funnel is probably too small. We are hitting on the ceiling. Let's go find and try to create and test out another user acquisition funnel. But end of day, it's also really about where you find your customer. I have a mentee, I am a mentor at 500 Global, the top accelerator. So one day my mentee come to me, say, hey, we are doing like hiking clothes and we have run all of the digital channel and it's not working. What should I do? And I asked them, so who are your customers? So, oh, people go to hiking. I was like, how about some billboard in front of hiking spots? Right? I was like, oh my God, billboard isn't be traditional. I was like, who cares? It's where your customer go, and your job is to find a touch point at the right time for the right audience.
Excellent. That's great advice. So is there a question I maybe should have asked you that I haven't? We got a couple minutes left here.
I think that being founder is pretty lonely, and many times that I was told myself before, I would say, I should do that, I should do what, and funny thing is that every time you tell yourself that I should, the less likely you are going to do it. I should lose weight, I should work out, and then you just doesn't want to do that. So one day my mentor told me that would it be great that you start saying that I would like to lose weight, I would like to close a deal, and it become a lot more positive. You are not blaming on yourself, and you are helping yourself to get the motivation. So I want to share this little tip to you, and hopefully you all gain a lot of motivation for your journey.
Well, I think that's excellent advice and a great way to end this episode. So that's another wrap on a great guest episode with the Evolvepreneur Secrets Show for entrepreneurs. And just before you leave, if you like it, please give us a 5-star review and maybe share it with a couple of friends. And if you want to make sure you're current with all the episodes, go to evolvepreneursecrets.show.
And
And
yeah, anyone who listened to this today, if you go to Taylor.style, that's TAELOR.STYLE, and use the word Evolvepreneur, you can get 25% off for your first 2 months menswear rental subscription. And that's help to save the environment.
well, good. That sounds like a great deal. So remember that when you go to, it's TAELOR, right? Taylor
That
and
style.
.style, and use the Evolvepreneur coupon code, I guess, for lack of a better term, and you'll get a good deal. So, and if you are an entrepreneur and you've got a great idea in your head, let's get started with it today. Thanks.